Despite arguing she is not worth millions, a new financial disclosure found Representative Ilhan Omar's net worth could be as much as $30 million.
America, $30 million. That's how much Ilhan Omar is worth after going from a negative net worth in 2018 to a multi-millionaire in 2024.
Each new revelation is fueling more and more demands for answers from Democrat Governor Tim Walz.
Meanwhile, her district is the epicenter of $9 million in social services fraud. And when the House Oversight Committee starts asking questions, her husband's company scrubs its website, deleting names including former Obama officials.
Because I have been as transparent as I can be.
What is up, guys? Tyson DeLaCruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Omar says she's been as transparent as she can be, but when your net worth increases 3,500% in 1 year, while your district is being raided by federal agents investigating $9 billion in fraud, transparency means showing us receipts. Rose Lake Capital, LLC, the venture capital firm owned by Omar's husband, Tim Manette. In 2023, Omar's disclosure listed this firm as being worth between $1 and $1,000, basically worthless. But in 2024, suddenly, the filing listed its value between $5 million and $25 million.
That the Minnesota Congresswoman and her husband have a net worth between $6 and $30 million, a roughly 3,500% increase compared to 2023.
Now, you might be thinking, maybe the company had a great year. Maybe they made some smart investments. Except here's the problem. Rose Lake Capital reported zero income. Zilch. How does a company go from worthless to $25 million in 12 months with no revenue?
The couple's financial gains came from her husband's two businesses, a winery in California and a venture capital firm headquartered in Washington, D.C. Those assets were valued between $5 and $25 million by the end of 2024.
And here's where it gets even more suspicious. As soon as the feds started looking into Minnesota fraud, Rose Lake Capital scrubbed its website. They removed the names and bios of 9 officers, which included several, get this, former Obama-era officials. Why do you delete that information unless you're trying to hide something? Think about the timing here. Federal agents are investigating $9 billion in fraud in Omar's particular district. House Oversight Chair James Comer is demanding answers about her particular wealth. And suddenly, miraculously, the company that's supposed to be worth $25 million is erasing all evidence of who's running it. Now, let's talk about the other businesses that's making Omar rich. Escure LLC, a California winery. Yes, you heard that right. A Muslim congresswoman who represents a heavy Somali district owns a winery because apparently Sharia law doesn't apply when there's money to be made. In 2023, this winery was valued at just $15,000 to $50,000. But in 2024, it exploded to the value of $1 million to $5 million overnight with no explanation.
In 2023, Omar disclosed a maximum of $50,000 in assets at the winery. The next year, Dana, that number increased to $5 million.
And here's where it gets even better. Tim Manette and his business partner are currently being sued for alleged fraud by restaurateur named Neem Moed, who claims they promised him a 20% return, but that never materialized. So the same guy whose companies are making Omar a multimillionaire is being sued for fraud.
Meanwhile, her husband's company, Rose Lake Capital, reported a maximum of $1,000 in assets in 2023. The next year, it was $25 million.
But wait, guys, there's more. Manette is also being sued by a South Dakota cannabis company for allegedly failing to fulfill $1 million in fundraising commitments. This guy is being sued for fraud in multiple states, while his companies are somehow worth tens of millions of dollars with zero income. Federal prosecutors estimate the total fraud in Minnesota social services can top over $9 billion. It is the epicenter for fraud in Omar's district.
The FBI saying it's massing resources to get those answers.
Obviously, new investigations triggered by viral videos, independent journalists like Nick Shirley, shout out to Nick Shirley, who have exposed widespread fraud in Somalia-run daycares and healthcare centers in Omar's district. They're not small-time scams. It is massive industrial-scale fraud of taxpayer money. As of January 2026, the Department of Homeland Security has surged over 2,400 federal agents to Minneapolis, more than double the local police force, to investigate this particular fraud and its ties to local politicians. Let that sink in. The Fed sent more agents to Minneapolis than the city has cops because the corruption's so deep.
If what they're saying is real and can be documented, and what they're saying is they told Tim Walz about the fraud when it was happening, and he not only ignored them, he retaliated against him.
And who represents this district? Ilhan, I married my brother Omar, the same congresswoman whose net worth just increased 3,500%, while her constituents are stealing $9 billion from federal programs. Coincidence? Or is there a reason that her husband's companies are suddenly worth millions while fraud is exploding in her district?
Omar denied being a millionaire earlier this year, posting on X, quote, "I barely have thousands, let alone millions."
She said this in February 2025, but her own financial disclosures filed in May 2025 show her net worth between $6 million and $30 million. So either she lied on social media or she lied on federal financial disclosures. Pick one.
Since getting elected, there has been a coordinated right-wing disinformation campaign claiming all sorts of wild things, including the ridiculous claim, "I am worth millions of dollars," which is categorically false.
Omar's defense to all this, it is a coordinated right-wing disinformation campaign. But these aren't allegations from conservative media. These are her own financial disclosures filed with the federal government. She's calling her own paperwork disinformation.
Omar went on to say she is a working mom with student loan debt, trying to raise a family while also maintaining homes in Minneapolis and in Washington, D.C.
And then, of course, if everything else fails, play the victim card. I'm just a working mom with student loan debt, trying to raise a family while maintaining houses in Minneapolis and Washington, D.C. Oh, the House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer isn't buying Omar's bullcrap.
House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer tells Fox News an investigation is underway, writing, quote, "The committee is working on addressing ethics concerns regarding Representative Omar and her spouse, and we hope to have an update soon."
Translation, they're following the money, and they don't like what they're finding.
Ever since I've gotten to Congress, they have been doing these sort of weird ethics investigations. None of them have yielded anything because I have been as transparent as I can be.
But here's the thing. When your net worth increases 3,500% in just 1 year, when your husband's companies go from worthless to $25 million with zero income, when those companies scrub their websites as soon as an investigation starts, that's not weird ethics investigations. That's legitimate scrutiny of suspicious financial activity. America, when a politician's family's wealth grows 3,500% in just a year, while your district is the epicenter for $9 billion in theft, racism is no longer a valid defense. It's time for receipts over rhetoric. Ilhan, I married my brother Omar, went from a negative net worth to $30 million while representing a district while Somalia-run daycares and healthcare centers are stealing billions from taxpayers. Her husband's venture capital firm went from 1,000 to 25 million with zero income, then scrubbed its website when investigators started asking questions. His winery exploded from $50,000 to $5 million overnight, and he's being sued for fraud in multiple states. The feds have sent 2,400 agents to Minneapolis to investigate fraud and its ties to local politicians. House Oversight is demanding answers. This isn't a political side hustle. This is a $30 million mystery sitting in the middle of the biggest fraud investigation in American history. And the receipts? They're coming. Let me know what you think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.